that to clear out red, or like what was the strategy going on there?
Usually what we do on DM6, we kind of resort two guys to be RA, and one at rail, one at LG. Whoever picks up RA runs to rail or LG, helps them out, whatever. But whoever is LG usually like just stacks up on YA, and then snatches away a quad, and he's still kind of stacked from YA's. The only thing is Waz was fucking on the ball with that quad, dude. He was
Yeah,
like a
he really
fucking
was.
ninja. Every time I would just fucking see him just appear, like, okay.
Yeah, he got it almost every time.
Yeah, I was impressed. Um, and he really made quite a bit of use of it as well. I mean, it can be one thing to grab the quad and then immediately die, but he managed to either survive or and get away. But then there were times where he actually had a pretty good stack at the moment that he picked it up, and he just ran the map. Um, and I think we saw one quad run of his where I think he got something like 8 or 10 frags. And I think that he did that on both maps tonight.
Yeah, I know they had fucking quad every time. Like I last said on that last map, I finally got quad, which was like the last 3 seconds in the map, which really doesn't give a fuck. But it was insanely just tough. I mean, after a while, I was just like, well, I'm not even gonna drop down and get quad. It's useless. I'm just gonna fucking sit back here and rail whoever picks it up. And it worked once. I mean, I got to rail them, killed them once, but other than that, they just fucking uh, dominated that quad area.
Yeah. Now, just so it's clear to our listeners, that's Clown that was just speaking. Is that right?
Yeah, that's right.
Okay, and then Fake ID. Let me ask your thoughts
Yes, sir.
about tonight's map.
Well, DM6 was kind of ridiculous because Clown loves the rail, so he just sit on that motherfucker. And pretty
Yes.
much, yeah, we'd probably just leave one man at RA, and then try to patrol the map without going too close to RA, or rail rather, taking too much damage when we go over there. So yeah, for a while there, they would just camp bridge, and it was kind of pissing off us all. So we try to just get out of the way of it.
Yeah, and that was another thing I noticed is that it seemed like at the times that you didn't have control or that you didn't have any sort of items or power ups, Itemized did a much better job of evading the the aggressors that did have those power ups. Um, I guess Fake ID first. Talk a little bit about like what kind of communication did you have going on over your events to make sure that you guys never ran into those power ups by accident. And then afterwards, on the flip side, I want to ask Clown, what kind of communication was going on for you? Because it seemed like, barring the unlucky spawns, which you can't really do anything about, it seemed like there was maybe a little bit less communication about where those power ups were going. So, Fake ID first.
Yeah, mostly our communication revolved around getting weapons and armors, of course, but also enemy location. And I don't know, we pretty much just try to focus fire on people whenever we were rolling packs.
Yeah. Now, did you guys usually roll in? I know that I saw quite a few pairs running, but then of course, everyone would congregate at quad when it came time for it. Let me hop over to Clown there. What kind of communication was going on for you guys? Because it seemed like, um, barring the bad luck spawns, you were getting taken down by that roaming quad quite a bit.
Well, let me first start off with that whole fucking running in packs deal. Every time I would see Fake ID, I would like rail him, and I know he was so low, and then Waz would just come around the corner and shotgun me, or, or someone else, Raul or something, and same shit,
Yeah.
dude. It was incredible. I was pretty impressed on the fact that one guy was low and the other guy would just hop in. And on the whole communication deal, we usually just have set spots, location stuff, and whenever someone does get quad, what sucks about our team is that Carabas, or however you say his name. He's fucking Russian, and he doesn't have a mic, so he never talks. Like, he says he doesn't have a mic, I don't believe him. And as for Flame, Flame doesn't talk either. He randomly like blurts out like quad, and that's about it. And me and Chief
Okay.
are the only ones pretty much talking, and even then I don't talk that much because my girlfriend's asleep in the room and shit. So
Okay. Well, let me roll this back over to Fake ID. You mentioned that you're calling out enemy locations and things like that. So uh, maybe for some of the newer teams that aren't quite used to what that is, like, so pretty much while you guys are playing, you have I would imagine constant chatter. Anytime you see anybody, you're calling out where they're at, that type of thing.
Well, mostly it's just people that have a big stack or they look powerful with their weapons and whatnot. Anyone that has like a position advantage will let teammates know so they don't get raped. We let people know if they're trying to bait us or camp us around corners and things like that.
Gotcha.
Just so we don't lose so many frags. The hard part is just not dying.
Yeah.
The easy part is killing people.
Yeah, we actually were talking about that a little bit earlier about how, getting frags in team deathmatch is in some cases not as important as learning to survive and not die. So yeah, I think you make a good point there. But yeah, I think that's always useful info. We've got a lot of new teams that are gearing up for Quake Live, and so for me, I think it's always useful to bring you guys in for these post-game interviews, and I try to kind of pick your brain a little bit there to maybe pass on some info to a newer team that might be like, oh, God, how do these guys seem to always know where we are? Well, it's because they're sitting there on event and they're getting that info across their teammates. So thank you for that. I think we'll let you go from there unless TGM has any final words of inquisition.
No, I think we pretty much covered it. I mean, good games tonight, guys.
All
yeah,
right.
let me just slip this in.
Sure.
Every time we play, Flame always like he'll be like, "Hey, be right back," for like he says 10 minutes, and like he'll fucking be gone forever. And then it was just funny that when the game started, he fucking drops out of the match. So it was extremely funny on our end. You should have read like the private chat.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Flame-
it's cool that you guys
A little
already
bit of that
started.
last night.
Yeah, I was gonna say we already got a bit of that dosage. Yeah.
It's funny
What are
that's
you
a
gonna do?
recurring thing because the 2 times we featured him. Yeah.
That's all right. That's all right. We still love you, Flame. Okay. Well, let's go ahead and wrap it up. Thanks again to Clown and Fake ID for hopping in here. Congrats to Itemize for coming out with a win. And GG's to Nightmare. And thank you for tuning in to our first night of QuakeNight coverage right here on QuakeLive.tv. Have a good one, folks.
Good night, guys.
Take it easy.
Peace.
Good night.